very good evening and a warm welcome to another episode of Law and Order, brought to you by Channel I of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. And today we are going to focus our attention on an issue in law which we as the ordinary citizens deal with each and every day, which is traffic offences and the legal scenario behind it. So today we are more than happy to welcome to the studio of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation a personality which needs no introduction, a personality which you and I all know, Mr. Ajit Rohana, DIG Legal for Discipline and Conduct at the Police Headquarters and Attorney at Law. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
So, sir, the question I'm going to ask you is a pondering question in a lot of citizens' minds. What is the law which governs traffic offences in Sri Lanka? Would you be able to give us a brief introduction about the law?
Yes, well, first of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciations to Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation and especially Channel I for giving this opportunity to explain the traffic law, the situation in respect of accidents, and especially the remedial action that every citizen, drivers, they should take in order to prevent accidents. The first motor vehicle that was brought to Sri Lanka in 1904, 115 years back. That was the first vehicle. It was brought to Sri Lanka, and after that, by 1935, the registered motor vehicles in the country, the number was 16,000. Since 1904 to 1935, there was no specific law in respect of motor traffic vehicles, but there was a regulation promulgated by the Minister in charge of Transport. So that regulation was the law. There was no an ordinance or the law made by the legislature or the parliament. But once the number, the population of vehicles increased up to 16,000, the legislature thought of enacting law in respect of motor vehicles. So therefore, in 1935, the British rulers, they introduced motor traffic ordinance, the first legal enactment in Sri Lanka in respect of motor vehicles, that was enacted in 1935 by the British rulers with the royal assent of the King of United Kingdom. So this particular ordinance had been the law in respect of traffic offences of Sri Lanka or Ceylon for a period of 16 years till 1951. By 1951, the vehicle population had been increased up to 80,000, 16,000 to 80,000. So therefore, the Sri Lankan legislature at that time, 1951, in the year 1951, it means after our independence. We got our independence in 1948, then we had our own parliament. So the parliament enacted an act that is called Motor Traffic Act number 16 of 1951. So that is the first enactment introduced by our own parliament in 1951. Now, since 1951, it has been completed almost 70 years. So the Motor Traffic Act has been amended since 1951 to date 27 times, and especially in year 1979, in 1984, in 2009, 2017 and 2019, very important amendments have been brought to the principal enactment. So now the contemporary law in respect of motor traffic vehicles and offences is the Motor Traffic Act that was enacted in 1951 with 27 amendments. So that is the law of the country in respect of motor vehicles.
And also now the Motor Traffic Act regulates how a driver or a pedestrian should use roads and motor vehicles. Along with that, after many decades, today we see that every day we hear of fatalities. Sometimes 4 or 5 people dying on the spot, and different people losing their limbs and being hospitalized. What is the main reason for the high number of fatalities in Sri Lanka, and do you see a general increase in the number or a decrease?
Well, if we take the accident statistics, I mean the world situation, in every 25 seconds, a person is killed in accident. And approximately 1.2 million persons are killed in road traffic accidents in the globe annually. If we take the Sri Lankan situation, as you all know, we had a war for a period of 30 years, LTT terrorism. So during that period, 9 to 10 or 10 to 11 persons are regularly killed by the terrorist atrocities like pistol group shooting or side charges, bomb blasts,
that is
explosives.
Per day, is it?
Per day during that time. Now today also, so the war was ended in 2009, but today 9 to 10 persons are killed, not in bomb blast or explosives or any terrorist acts, but in accidents. So 9 to 10 persons are killed, but last month or the previous month, the number had been decreased to 6 to 7, but again it has been increased. So this is also just like a terrorism. This is called accident terrorism, and 9 to 10 persons are killed. So if we take the statistics in respect of the year 2018, 3,152 persons were killed in road traffic accidents. So if we take that particular number and if we analyze it, in Sri Lanka, a person is killed in every 2 hours and 49 minutes time, a person is killed. And apart from that, approximately 23,000 persons had been critically injured in road traffic accidents. So if we take that number and analyze it, in every 28 minutes, a person is injured in Sri Lanka. So that is the statistics. But the other accidents, the total number of accidents that had been reported to Sri Lanka police in the year 2018 was 35,000, but that is the reported number. But it should be mindful that unreported number is higher than the reported number. According to the statistics of insurance companies, approximately 500,000 accidents are happen annually in Sri Lanka. But those accidents are not reported to police, so sometimes at the point the both parties, if it is a vehicle damage only, so they amicably settle the things, so they are not reporting to police station. But 35,000 accidents had been reported last year, and the previous year 37,000. And on the other hand, the considerable factor is that if a person is killed in a road traffic accident, so they are called fatal accidents. If a fatal accident happens, the government should spend at least 1 million for that particular accident. For the post-mortem, for investigation, for the judicial procedure, for witnesses, I mean, sometimes it takes 5 years, 6 years time. So, during that period, generally, the state should spend at least 1 million. So, if you calculate that money, 3,000 persons are killed annually. So, 1 million into 3,000, so 3,000 millions. That is public money in vain we need to spend on that. And if you calculate that amount into 10 years or 20 years time, it is a very big money, billions of money, because in comparison to other countries, slightly our accident rates is high. What are the main reasons? What are the main reasons for
Exactly, sir, because this number is very alarming, and for
Yes.
such a small country like Sri Lanka, it's
Yes.
certainly too much to handle, I guess.
Exactly. What are the main reasons? In 1951, when this Motor Traffic Act was enacted, I mean, if he takes the roads of city of Colombo, we had Gaul Road, we had Duplication Road, we had Bullis Road in front of Rupavahini Corporation, now it is called Bauddha Lokamavata. Some roads are slightly expanded, like Baseline Road, but other roads remains as it is. In 1951, when this particular act was enacted, the registered number of motor vehicles is 80,000, as I mentioned. So, could you imagine today what is the number?
I cannot guess.
Yes. As at 31st of December 2018, the number is 8 million. 8 million. So, within a period of 70 years, it has been increased up to 8 million. It was 80,000. It was 80,000. So, accordingly, the road system has not been developed, not been improved. So that is, it is one of the main reasons for accidents. Now, if you take Kandy Road, if you take Gaul Road, but highway has been constructed, we have the same road. So, sometimes it has been widened and enhanced in some areas, but generally we have one lane towards Kandy, one lane towards Colombo. So, that is the situation. And the second issue is especially now we have a competition in public transport system. So, that is one of the main reason, that is the second reason. So, unlike other countries, unfortunately the private buses, the CTB buses, so they have a competition. And apart from that, I mean, within their system also, private buses, so they have a competition to get passengers. Now, if you, I think if you analyze the accident data in respect of road from Colombo to Putlam, so the majority number of buses from Colombo to Jaffna moving through that particular road. And the major accidents in respect of public transportation happen on that particular road, because so every time they have a competition, and the drivers, they are not disciplined. So, every time they are thinking of money, they are thinking of passengers. So, therefore, so that is the second reason for accidents. And the third reason is the motorcyclists or the motorcycle riders and pillion riders. So generally in our country, so if you need to get a license in respect of motor car or bus, so I mean the majority they go to a registered school, learning school, to get some sort of idea about law and training, how to drive, how to signal, how to stop, all these things. But if you need to get a license in respect of motorcycles, so you don't get that type of training. So generally, if there is a motorcycle at your home, so you use it, you yourself ride it, and thereafter you get the practice and you go for the license. So that type of informal training is directly affected to these accidents. And if we analyze the accident data in the year 2018 and 2017, especially in respect of fatal accidents, the majority victims, the deceased, are motorcycle riders, and the second number is the pedestrians. I mean the walkers on road. So they are the victims, and third number is